my fellow history lovers and people that think if I learn something new today, it'll be a great day. So here's my question. How does this bar of French soap connect to this guy, John Adams, and connect to the very reason that the French will help us win at Yorktown? So here is the story. Prior to the American Revolution, only people American colonies can really trade with is Britain. So what Britain wants is for the colonies to send raw goods to Britain and then to buy finished goods back. And that's just natural, right? Because there's a higher markup on finished goods. They want the higher markup, but they really control it to the extent that the colonists, for the most part, can't trade with any other countries. It's a very tightly controlled mercantilism system. Well, the French look at that, and now the revolution's happening, and they're thinking, this is kind of enemy of my enemy is my friend. These rebels are making life difficult for the British. We don't like the British because we just lost the French and Indian War. And so maybe we'll help them out a little under the table. But they're not going to actually go to war with Britain, just a little bit here and there, because they don't actually think we're going to win this. So when the key turning point of the American Revolution, the Battle of Saratoga, happens, and I actually should have kept West Guard in the Second Battle of Saratoga. Missed opportunity, that's okay. When that happens and they think, wow, these guys might actually win, then they actually come up even more so and eventually will send troops and a navy, which is desperately needed. But you might think, well, was that all just because they hated the British? No, and this is where our French soap comes into play. So listen to this. So the French foreign minister, and his name is, and I wrote down how to pronounce this, it looks like Vergennes, but of course that's not it. If you don't speak French, it's Verzen. His name is Verzen is how to pronounce it. And he says, so he's the French foreign minister, and he says, his purpose first, last, and always was to weaken and humble Britain, and at the same time expand French trade in America. Now listen up. Quote, always keep in mind, Verzen would say to the Minister of Finance, that in separating the United States from Britain, it was above all the commerce that we wanted. Now, just really quickly, later in this wonderful book, by the way, by David McCullough, he says it didn't really work out. Now, why we didn't have a good trade relationship with them, I don't honestly know. I do know we almost went to war with them. Not long after the revolution, we went from like buddy-buddy to really on the brink of war, and I'm not sure why the whole trade thing didn't work out. Maybe that was part of it. And if you do, I'd love to know that actually. But that's just a little bit of background to understand how this French soap was why the French, to a certain extent, were helping us. Anyway, thanks for letting me share always, and I will see you tomorrow.